Hey, this is Phil Lilley, Lilleys Landing Resort and Marina on Lake Taneycomo. We're going to do one cast today. It's the 25th of January. This is Saturday. We're still running 15,000 CFS. And I'm right across the lake from, well, a little bit up lake from Trout Hollow. A little eddy right here. I've got a 16th ounce white jig with 4-pound line on, using our 30-year rod, 6-foot one-piece, 4-pound line. I said that. It's Trilene XL clear. That's what I'm using. And I'm using a Fluger President's Reel 6725. We've got a tournament today. It's the Masters. And guys are out fishing. I just pulled up on a guy. I heard that there was an angler that had a fish on that had been fighting it for 30 or 40 minutes. And I got there just about in time for him to lose the fish. He was drifting a stick bait. Not sure what kind. I've been out kind of experimenting. No fish on one cast. I'm working slower water against the bank, and I'm only working that just real close to the bank. And I'm using lighter jigs like the 16th ounce, because I feel like there's a lot of fish that are in this slower water. It's kind of hugging the banks. I don't think they're being bothered too much by anybody. I was up across the lake from Fall Creek fishing that inside bank, and caught a couple little ones, and I hooked a real nice, about a 2-pound rainbow, and I lost it. And I had him on a 16th ounce sculpin and peach jig with a sculpin head. There's a fish that just rose just below me. I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera a little bit, because I'm going to be fishing out of this other side of the boat. This bank on the shallow side of the lake is already water's already pretty slow, but the water just along the bank is just, it's just barely moving. The only problem with fishing over here is there's a lot of wood. I'm fishing white. Kelly Stammer is here fishing with his buddies from Parsons, Kansas, and one of his guys caught a real nice brown on this bank yesterday on a white jig. I think I'm a little too close. I need a little bit more room to work a jig. I don't want to get out too far, because I don't want to get out in the current. I haven't really talked to anybody that's in the tournament and how they're doing. I think we have 42 or 43 signed up, but we had several that had to cancel, so we didn't pull them out of the lineup. So I think we ended up with about 38 teams. It is an artificial only tournament, so they can't use soft plastics or scented baits. And then we had people, when they started the tournament, they had to declare whether they were going to fish up or down. And the reason is we wanted to distinguish if you were fishing up in the trophy area then you had to declare up. And you could fish any place in the lake, but you couldn't weigh in rainbows between 12 and 20 inches. It keeps people from, and it's not foolproof, but it keeps people from going up in the trophy area and catching fish in the slot, like 16, 17 inch rainbows. Ooh, there's a bite. And bringing those in and weighing those fish. We only had 2 teams declare up. Everybody else is fishing below Fall Creek. As you can tell, it's pretty slow going as far as drifting and working a lot of water. But that's okay. There's one. Nice stalker. I'm keeping 4 fish because we're thinking about using our big scale. He does not want to come off the hook. Using our big scale to weigh fish in this tournament. We wanted to do a little practice weigh in with a few fish. So I got 3 in the live well. Maybe one more. It's a lot of guys. I mean, you know, when you have 30 some odd boats in a tournament, people are going to go try all different kind of things in different areas of the lake. I know several boats that'll boat all the way to the very lower end of Taneycomo, which is about a 17-mile run. And they generally do okay as far as weight. It's a gamble. So a lot of guys will fish down at the landing. And there'll be a lot of guys that fish up here. But it is a beautiful day. It's in the 40s, it's sunshine, there's no wind. Guys got to be real thankful. It's the first nice day we've had in a long time. I probably could get away with fishing a 3/32 ounce. I don't think I'm getting down very good. But I am really concentrating on only fishing the first, you know, real close to the bank up there. I really feel like there's some big fish to be had up there in that water up close to the bank. Once it gets out here, it's, you know, it's 10, 12 foot deep out here. A little heavier jig to get down that kind of water. And it looks like we're going to get some nice weather all this week. I'm seeing 40s and 50s all week. That's what I don't want to do is get in anybody's way, especially guys in the tournament. I really don't see many people fishing like this today, so I don't feel like I'm fishing for anybody's fish. Oh, I missed one. Let's see if I can pick the pace up a little bit. Work it a little bit faster, a little harder jerk. I can't really see the line. It's too much glare. So I'm going by feel. We started this tournament in 1994, I think it's 1995, sorry. So 25, this is the 25th year, 26 of the tournament. And there are a lot of guys that are fishing today that fished it back in 1925. There are guys that have been fishing tournaments down here since the early 80s. Main Street Dock, which used to be down where the landing is now, and Branson Trout Dock, also down where the landing is, used to have tournaments in the wintertime. And when they got torn down, we picked up those tournaments and started doing them. So a lot of the guys that fish those tournaments now fish our tournaments. And they're a lot of fun. A lot of guys have become friends with guys that fish the tournament. Friendships have been made. We feed everybody afterwards in our public tournaments. The Masters in Elf Rink. Elf Rink's one of the last weekends of February. You see that bite? I'll jerk the rod out of my hand. Try that again. Couple more bites and I'm gonna have to get in. Got some chickens to attend to. Might not get my fourth fish though. I've sent Ryan or Dwayne out to catch it. I'm sure they won't be too disappointed. Need to throw behind this tree right here. If I was fishing the tournament, I would probably run this bank again and try a dark color, sculpin or black. I did catch some fish on black and yellow here a little bit ago. Okay, I'm going to back out. I'm going to throw a couple more times out in this deeper water just for the fun of it. And I would also, I'd go to a 3/32 ounce jig. Really, to fish this water effectively, I should have lost a couple of jigs. Just really not fishing deep enough. Out here in this deeper water, I was fishing that shallow water in there pretty good, but not out here. One more cast. See if I can lose the jig. Just let it sink. The 16th ounce is just not heavy enough to get down in this deep water. And there I got a bite. And hooked a fish. Let's see? That's what I needed to do. Just try to get snagged up. Oh, and I lost him. One more cast. If I didn't need that fourth fish, I'd just go in. One more cast, this is it. try to get snagged. That fish tapped it like a white bass. I'm done. Okay. Somebody else, I have to go out and catch my fourth fish. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.